Houston drivers log 30.7 miles every day, one of America's longest commutes. This number hints at a much bigger picture for its residents. What fuels this constant road trip? Houston's sheer scale plays a huge part. On average, drivers here lose 54 hours to traffic jams each year. That's more than 2 full days spent just waiting. A 2023 Texas A&M Transportation Institute report puts Houston second for traffic, right behind Los Angeles. Think of driving the entire Houston Ship Channel, all 50 miles, back and forth, 5 days a week. That's the daily reality for a lot of people. These journeys aren't just wasted time. They also rack up 4.7 metric tons of CO2 per commuter annually. That's a pretty heavy environmental toll. And remember that 30.7-mile daily drive? It's the second longest in the US, with Atlanta just ahead. It's like commuting from downtown to Sugar Land and back, every single day. Houston commuters spend an average of 54 minutes each way in traffic, nearly 2 hours daily. This grueling routine delivers exhaust fumes and mounting frustration. Annually, a Houston commuter burns 400 gallons of gas, costing over $1,600. Evolution didn't exactly design us for this level of fossil fuel reliance. You could easily spend 20 full days a year just staring at brake lights, and that's without counting weekends. Your car becomes a second home, a metal bubble against the gridlock dread. Houston has 1,700 lane miles of freeway, a sprawling concrete network. It connects distant suburbs, but traffic remains a stubborn fixture, a monument to endless sprawl. In some Houston neighborhoods, 40% of all land is dedicated to roads and parking. Green spaces have become asphalt deserts, revealing a serious concrete addiction. Back in 1929, Houston voters made a decision that sent the city down a really strange path. They rejected citywide zoning laws. This meant, unlike most major US cities, Houston had no strict rules about where you could build what. So, you could end up with a factory right next door or an office tower popping up on a quiet street. This lack of regulation fueled totally unpredictable growth, creating huge areas where homes were built super far from jobs because the land was cheap. Then, in the 1950s, federal policies kicked off a national highway boom, and Houston jumped on board starting in the 60s, building out its road network like crazy. By 1970, Houston had put down over 200 miles of urban expressways. That's basically a direct highway from Houston all the way to Austin. This massive expansion fueled enormous sprawl, and the metro area's population nearly doubled, jumping from 3 million in 1990 to 7.2 million by 2020. This growth explosion pushed Houston's geographic footprint to 667 square miles, which is 1.5 times larger than Chicago, Philadelphia, and Boston all put together within their city limits. That's some serious scale. All this low-density development meant owning a car wasn't just convenient, it was essential. By 2020, a staggering 95% of Houston commuters used personal vehicles, and the average household owned 1.5 cars. This intense dependency, higher than many other big US cities, naturally led to more traffic. So, between 1980 and 2019, Houston added 4,000 lane miles of highway, almost a 50% increase in road capacity. But the gridlock? It's still there. For millions in Houston, that 30.7-mile daily drive isn't just a statistic. It hits their wallets, their time, and their health. The average one-way commute clocks in at 29.5 minutes, meaning nearly a full hour gets burned just getting to and from work. Year over year, that stacks up to over 230 hours lost in traffic. That's 10 entire days vanished. Financially, it's a major hit. Houston drivers shell out more than $1,600 annually on gas alone. Add in maintenance and depreciation, and owning a car here costs over $9,000 each year. Environmentally, these commutes are just awful. Each average car pumps out 4.8 tons of carbon dioxide yearly. Across millions of vehicles, Houston's commuters are collectively spewing over 20 million tons of CO2 annually, one of the highest city totals in the entire US. And it's not just about emissions. Long commutes fry your nerves and mess with your sleep. Your typical Houstonian spends 20 full days a year just staring at brake lights. That's over 10 full days of your life, gone. For context, The CO2 from one Houston commuter's car, 4.8 tons, is like flying from Houston to London 25 times. These marathon drives, averaging 30.7 miles daily, ramp up stress and slash opportunities for physical activity. And get this, sitting for more than 2 hours a day hikes your heart disease risk by 50%. All these cars covering such vast distances are a huge reason Houston struggles with constant air pollution. Compare that to New York, where commuters average just 17.4 miles daily. The upshot is a city where residents are quite literally losing days of their lives just to get to work, a harsh reality of its car-first design. Houston's average daily commute adds an extra 9 miles over the national average, meaning residents travel 30.7 miles each day instead of 21.9. Picture adding nearly an hour and a half to your commute, both ways, every single workday. Other sprawling Texas cities like Dallas average 28.1 miles, still shorter than Houston's remarkable figure. Even Phoenix, a city known for its reliance on cars, clocks in at 26.5 miles, a full 4.2 miles less. This isn't just conjecture. The U.S. Census Bureau's 2022 American Community Survey confirms it, solidifying Houston's position among the top 5 U.S. cities for longest average commute distances. It's a dubious title, to be sure. This 30.7-mile statistic firmly places Houston as an extreme outlier, not just another big city. It redefines what a long-distance relationship with your car truly means. Houston's notorious lack of zoning laws and its aggressive highway expansion since the 1960s are major contributors to these staggering numbers. Frankly, urban planning here chose chaos. Despite over 2.3 million people packed within city limits across 667 square miles, Houston's low-density sprawl creates immense distances. That's a population roughly the size of London's, but with drastically fewer public transport options. Imagine London without its tube. For 90% of Houstonians, a personal vehicle is the only practical way to navigate these commutes. Public transit? That's a distant, almost mythical dream. Over the last decade, Texas poured more than $28 billion into highway projects, completely dwarfing public transit investments in Houston. The road always wins. This fundamental reality means countless residents are stuck with over 60 miles of driving every single workday, a mandatory, soul-crushing daily pilgrimage. Houston's daily commutes lean on public transit less than 5% of the time, a figure that really lays bare the immense challenge of reshaping the city's future. Since 2003, Metro Houston has poured over $8 billion into light rail and bus rapid transit, trying to nudge people out of their cars. Still, a staggering 90% of Houstonians rely on personal vehicles for their daily journeys. Trying to steer this oil tanker city towards a different path feels like attempting to turn it with a bicycle paddle. New urbanist projects, like the 650-acre East River development, are trying to offer a fresh vision. These are designed to build walkable, mixed-use neighborhoods, aiming for a 30% cut in local drive times. In central Houston, the population has grown 15% since 2010, hinting at a real desire for this urban transformation. Smart traffic systems using AI to fine-tune signal timing are showing real potential, with tests slashing peak congestion by up to 25% in certain areas. Imagine technology actually giving back hours to commuters, letting them reclaim time like a whole long weekend each year. Honestly, our bodies are built for moving. Forcing millions into 30 miles of daily driving feels just plain wrong. Future plans include adding 200 miles of dedicated bus lanes, with the aim of reaching a 10% transit mode share by 2040, and we're also looking into new autonomous shuttle services. Investing in green infrastructure, like 500 miles of new bike paths, could encourage alternative transport, directly impacting over 1 million residents. Policies that promote remote work might even trim daily vehicle miles traveled by 15 to 20%. This marks a profound shift from years of conventional infrastructure spending.